everyone. I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Mom.
And this is Millennial and Mom. And we are finally back. It feels like we've been gone for like a week, which we have.
Right.
To give you guys a recap of Season 2, Episode 6, 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Grumpy, Don't Stop. And Mom realized that they use a lot of quotes for Ji-hoon to represent each episode. So, let's get into the video.
So, we're actually going to start with Devin and Ji-hoon. Now, they finally arrived at that apartment that Devin rented. And again, the parents, the mom, the dad, her mom, everyone's looking around like, where are we? What's going on? It's not the best neighborhood. And Devin said something. She's like, it's kind of like the Korean ghetto. I was like, huh, okay. Now, the neighborhood might not have been the best, but when they had the touch key on the door, I was like, okay, maybe the outside is just a reflective of the neighborhood, but the inside might be okay.
I thought the inside wasn't that bad from my perspective. Yeah, it was a little bit smaller, but I don't know. I don't feel like Devin should have been 100% mad at Ji-hoon. I feel like everybody was coming down on Ji-hoon, and I don't feel like everyone should have been 100% mad. Maybe like 75% mad, but not all the way, because yeah, he should have checked out the apartment and all the other stuff, been the husband that he was supposed to be. But Devin already knows he's not really reliable, so she should have really did the research.
Devin was hoping he was reliable. And, you know, you said what her mom said, like, you're supposed to be the man. You're supposed to take care of them. And this is not the best neighborhood. Okay, so it's not. But inside the apartment, it was small. But when they walked out, I was like, oh, this is nice. It is small, but you're in a different country, so the amenities might be different. But Devin said there's no living room. And I'm like, okay, well, you got the kids. So you kind of need a living room. They can't just be in the room all the time. At least they shouldn't be. So now's the next morning. Devin's sitting in the kitchen talking with her mom. I guess Ji-hoon left to go back to his parents' house to get his phone or something he forgot. But while they're talking, Ji-hoon comes through the door and asks Devin, can we talk? Devin goes outside. She talks with Ji-hoon. And now, for some reason, Ji-hoon has to use an interpreter because Devin is not sure what he's saying. She knows what he's saying. She just doesn't want to hear.
That's not why they used an interpreter. He wanted to use it because he wanted to express his feelings because he can't say everything in English. But the words that he was saying in the words of S.2, some expensive words, he was trying to put it back on Devin. Like it was all Devin's fault because she did this. She bought the apartment and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And he's in debt and she sure already know that. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, but where's the accountability?
And she was like, well, why you lie to me? And he's like, well, I just wanted you here fast. I'm thinking, okay, I understand you want Devin and the baby and Drusilla back. But if you don't have it together and if you're still living in your mom's house, which you kind of already knew, just say that.
Right, like why bait her to come down here and then she gonna see all the BS for however many months she has the rental for her to come back or not, you know? It was like, what was the reason?
And so while they're talking at the end, Devin says, well, I might as well just go home with my mom. He's like, you might as well.
But then he tried to backtrack. He's like, well, you know, we could still work it out, just stay. She's like, no, I'm going to go back home. And I feel her. But she's like, you know, I don't have much to go back home to. And I don't have much here. So what should I do? So you already know she's going to stay.
Now we have Kenny and Armando. But we're starting in Mexico with Armando. And I thought it was a really nice and touching scene that Armando wanted to talk to his daughter about them moving in with Kenny because Kenny is coming to Mexico with them and he's not sure how Hannah's going to take it. But she took it surprisingly well. She's like, oh, I'm happy he's coming. I know he's going to love us. I hope he's good to me and brings me toys. I was like, okay, that's about right. Little kids want to have toys and whatever else, right? I really hope this all works out for them because Kenny and Armando, their love story seems so genuine, and if it doesn't turn out to be that way, I don't know. It's just going to be devastating for them both because Kenny has given up everything and Armando has given up everything.
I wasn't surprised that Hannah was happy. She's happy because she knows that her dad's happy, and they probably already had a conversation about this off camera, so I just thought it was great. And the only time we saw Kenny was him driving in each state. But I was just looking at the dog. I was like, he looks sad. He looks sick. He looks hot. I was worried about the Chihuahua the whole time.
Well, we see Kenny. We see him on day 3 of 4. He's actually driving from Florida to Mexico. And I was like, wow, that is a long trip. But he's put in lots of hours. But he said his dog, he couldn't leave his dog. She's 15 years old.
I think he should have left him. Because he just looked like he weren't going to make it.
Well, I hope she makes it. Kenny hopes so too. So she can meet Armando.
In the end, when Armando's finally leaving to go set the apartment, because he's not taking Hannah first. He wants to make sure everything's ready and they can also boom boom.
Right, also ready.
We only got to see his sister and his mom come send him off. His dad wasn't comfortable with that. And I understand what the mom is saying, you know. It's not the fact that he's moving in with someone of the same gender, but it's someone that she doesn't know, and she's scared and fearful for that.
Yes.
And I just hope they all come around and they can just work it out and be together, because I really do have high hopes for them. But as I've been saying, I really think the biggest issue, well, one of the biggest issues is going to be Armando's family. And if they don't accept, I don't think he's going to be 100% happy. So for Tim and Melissa, we only saw Tim this episode.
Well, Tim and his mom.
Right. I was about to get to that mom and his mom. And his mom just rubbed me the wrong way just a little bit.
Oh?
Because she felt like Melissa wants Tim, aka Colty 2.0, to come down where she's living, because Melissa wants to control him in some type of way. And I was like, is there something we haven't seen yet?
I still think there's something that we don't know with Tim. The story, I mean, it could be, but it doesn't seem to be that it's just about a cheating one time. It has to be something else going on. And you don't agree or see the mom's point of view, but since I'm mom, I see the point of view, because I was thinking the same thing, like, why do you have to uproot your life to go to Colombia, to be with her, to prove that you love her, you're doing this and you're doing that?
But you have to look at it from Melissa's standpoint, because all we know for right now is that Tim cheated a month prior her 6-month tourist visa. So why would she come back down again to retry it with someone who A, cheated on her a month before, and B, uprooting her whole entire life to be in America with someone that cheated on her before?
Well, you just said it. It's a tourist visa, so she was coming for 6 months. So you're not uprooting your life. You have 6 months to decide if this is what you want. And later on in the episode, we do see Tim going to visit his therapist, whose suggestion was that was Melissa's, so that Tim could figure out why he does, or whatever, what he do. And I'm thinking like, oh, so that was her suggestion for you to go see a counselor because you cheated on me? I think that's a little one-sided. Even the therapist said it's one-sided. Like, there has to be some type of trust. I do believe where the therapist said that, you know, she needs time to have her heart where she can trust you, and it's vice versa. It is a give and take. But only he needs counseling. Like I said, that's where I think there's something else going on with this story. I'm not sure it's all what it's meant out to be.
I don't know, but I more so can see Melissa's side than I can see Tim's side at the moment. Now we have Ariella coming to Ethiopia with her mom.
There's a lot of moms in this season, isn't it?
It's a lot of moms, a lot of family members being involved, more than ever before, which I guess is a good idea, but some people are being a little bit judgmental.
Well, if it was you, I'd be going too.
Well, when they finally see each other, Benjamin has flowers for her. It was really cute. He was actually very excited, nervous, but excited.
You got that from him? I didn't get that from Benjamin. I got he was nervous, because she's coming, she's pregnant. I get that. But when I was watching, he didn't seem like he was into her the way when he was talking about her. Because I was like, Because even when they were hugging at the airport, he was like looking off. And if you looked at some of their pictures, like before she came or when she was there before, she's hugging him and he's like looking off in the distance. So I don't know.
That's funny that you got that from him, because I got that from her.
Well,
because when they were hugging, it seemed like just because he cut off his dreads, she wasn't really impressed by him. Cut off the dreads, was skinny. She was like, who is this man?
But here's my thing. He cut off his dreads, yes. Haven't you communicated? How do you not send pictures? I'm sure you sent pictures of your growing belly, so how come you haven't seen pictures of him?
I was very pleasantly surprised that her mom was like, okay, she was feeling it. I feel like the mom was most excited from the both, which I thought was funny.
I think mom was happy to have arrived from the long trip and be like, okay, he actually looks nice, decent person, but this okay for me was like, oh, okay.
Well, come to find out, mom's got her own spot. So she's not living with Binyam and Ari. And I was like, okay, mom, I see you.
Right. Off topic, we talked about that before. I'm like, where's she going to stay? Because if it was me, I'd be at the hotel too.
But Binyam has his own apartment? I wasn't too sure. Was it his own apartment or was that still his brother's?
Well, it said a rental. So maybe they're staying there temporarily because the way she described it was the outside was dark. Okay. Reminds me of Devin and Jihoon. The outside was dark. The inside was dark, not welcoming. But when she went in the bathroom, I want to know whose shoes were those? Are they still staying there too? Like the people who was renting it? Like, seriously, whose shoes are those?
Well, let's hope that is Binyam's. I guess the apartment wasn't up to par. And the only part that I could agree with is the part that she said that she could smell mold in the bathroom.
Mold? Shoes?
Well, it doesn't matter if she can smell feet. It's mold that she can smell because it can hurt the baby. So that was the only thing I was like, yeah, maybe they should go find somewhere else. But I feel like Ari already knew what the country looked like because she's been there before.
That was
and
my
she
issue.
knows that Binyam has like 4 or 5 different part-time jobs. I mean, he's trying his best. I feel like he's doing way better because if that was Devin, she would have got something completely different. But at least Binyam's actually trying. And I was actually happy for them.
Yes, he tried. He found something. Was it up to par? No, it wasn't to Ariella's standards. But to your point, she should know. She's been to the country before. She knows how things are, the conditions. So you really can't get too mad at that. At least you have somewhere to stay. Our final couple, Jenny and Sumit. So it's the next morning in India. Jenny and Sumit woke up. Jenny said something that made me laugh. She's like, I'm sorry. There was no
boom, boom.
To put it lightly, last night I was just tired. And he was like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. And Jenny says she wants to know if Sumit really has these divorce papers and what's going to happen with that. She decided she's going to ask him about that when they go out in the morning. So now they go out to get tea. And while they're getting tea, that's when she breaks it down. She's like, so I want to know, where's the papers? Because if you don't have them this time, we can't get married. He says, I don't know why you're annoying me. I was like, what? She has been there 3 times previously. She came against the advice of her own children, really herself, and just anybody who cares about her to India on faith that you have taken care of your divorce papers. And he's just trying to like skirt the subject, like pushing underneath the rug. But what he does say is that they can go visit the courthouse to see where he filed. Okay, but you filed, but you don't have your papers. So Jenny's okay with that. I guess to see as long as he's filed, that means the process has started. But I really hope he did this time because one of the last episodes, he didn't have enough money. So if you don't have enough money, can you really file?
That's a good question because I don't know. I just think that Sumit thinks Jenny should just be happy that they got their own place 2.5 hours away from his family and they could actually live peacefully for the moment.
Exactly, for the moment, because I don't know how long that's going to last because his brother knows where they are, so who knows, who else knows, because
they know where he's at.
Well, I hope it is peacefully, but it looks like we're going to find out if he did file or not or how long it's going to take coming up.
All right, so that was the end of this week's episode, and it was good. I'm very interested to see what Devin and Jihoon is going to do and what Ari's mom's going to say about the living conditions because I really don't know how long Ari is going to be able to stay in Ethiopia, or how long she's even going to be willing to stay in Ethiopia. What do you think?
Well, I'm on Team Mom, of course. But I think Ariella and Binyam, I don't think her mom's going to talk her into staying because she's a free spirit. So she's used to doing kind of what she wants. But everyone else on the show is just now starting to get good. You know, whatever's happening with them is happening. Kenny's coming to town. Devin has to decide what she's going to do. And are those court papers really filed?
Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below, and what do you think is going to happen next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, you share this video to other people who watch 90 Day Fiancé and 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way, and also you subscribe to our channel.
Thank you all for watching, and as always, live simply, be grateful.